Is it running?
Yeah, we're ready to go.
I saw a video from Alex, which talks about 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't do. And I agree with some of it, while I think a lot of it is a bunch of bullshit. So let's get started with number one, which is poor people like to spend a lot of time watching television. Most of what is on television is a complete bunch of total fucking bullshit. And it is a big fucking waste of time watching all that fucking garbage. A lot of people like to read and watch celebrity gossip. Well, I think that most celebrities are scum, so fuck them. People who have nothing better to do with their lives than to follow celebrity gossip should be sent to Guantanamo Bay to be tortured. But also, what the fuck? Sometimes I make fuck ups when I write this. But they also said that people who are interested in watching Big Bang Theory are also responsible for being poor. I like watching Big Bang Theory, especially because Sheldon has Asperger's. And I really enjoy hearing the shit that comes flying out of his mouth. And I still never got to see the episode which was about Sheldon keeping logs of his bowel movements. Number two, poor people eat a lot of fast food. Well, most poor people are pieces of trash. So of course they are going to eat a lot of fast food. They should eat at all-you-can-eat buffets instead. Number three, poor people buy only things that are on sale. Go take a flying fucking fuck yourself. And they said that poor people should they also said that poor people should invest their money in the stock market. Sure, so when it crashes, you lose everything. The stock market is nothing more than a scam, and not only that, it's a complete load of fucking bullshit. As you can tell, I strongly disagree with number three. Number four, poor people like to stay up all night and sleep during the day. Well, go take a flying fucking fuck off. What a load of fucking bullshit, and they associate waking up to laziness, which is a complete load of fucking bullshit. What's important is to get enough sleep so you are well rested to get things done that need to be done. Number five, poor people are really into sports. Now I agree with this. Most people who have nothing better to do with their lives than to watch the football game, and then that's all they talk about with their coworkers, are a bunch of weak-minded, stupid assholes. Noam Chomsky brought this up as this is how the government and the corporations who own and control them use sports as a major distraction so the weak-minded, stupid apes are unaware of the real shit that is going on. Number six, poor people don't shower as much as rich people do. Well, how about Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, and Ozzy Osbourne? They are rich. Do you really think that after spending an entire night of shooting heroin in their veins and sniffing blow, that they're going to rush off to take a shower? Ozzy Osbourne has lots of money, and I'm willing to bet that he smells a lot like a corpse. Actually, I think Ozzy Osbourne is a corpse. Furthermore, when people date someone, they are expected to take a shower just before they fuck, because they want them to be clean. Not always. Well, I think that people should take a shower after they fuck, because when I get lucky enough to find someone to fuck, it turns me on thinking about them when they stink. But only if they are good looking. But as soon as the thick white stuff squirts out of my penis, I expect them to take a shower because I'm no longer in the mood to smell their stench. I bet that very few of you have ever heard of the true meaning of the word olfactophilia. Olfactophilia means being sexually attracted to someone who hasn't bathed in a while. There is even a forum in Yahoo groups for people who have an olfactophilia, and this one guy mentions that he really enjoys it when he gets a good whiff of his wife's unclean, unwashed butt. I won't forget this foot fetish video that I watched when this person, who I found to be kind of sexy, was talking about what a long day they had working out, and they were taking off their shoes, and they were talking about how stinky and smelly their feet were, and this person actually sniffed their own socks. Then they kept talking about how stinky and smelly their feet were, and they were asking people to sniff their stinky, smelly toes, and they asked people to take their tongue and lick their stinky and smelly toes. Watching that video caused me to get a stiffy. I often think about that foot fetish video and that sexy person with their stinky, smelly feet when I beat off. I saw another foot fetish video that was also a bondage video when this person tied up this ugly fat man, and this person was waving their stinky, smelly feet in his face, and they were rubbing their stinky, smelly feet in his face, and this person made him lick their stinky, smelly toes with his tongue. The video concludes with this person rubbing this guy's penis with their stinky, smelly feet, and this guy made some interesting moaning sounds while he was shooting his load. But that did not turn me on because he was an ugly fat man. Whenever I beat off, I often fantasize what it's like for someone to have skid marks on and shit stains on their underpants, but only if they are attractive. And have you ever noticed that a lot of attractive people are stuck up and they act like their shit don't stink? So it really turns me on when I find out that it does. Well, I haven't gotten laid in such a long time, so this is why I think about things like that when I beat off. Now, well, I was supposed to be talking about the 10 things that rich people do that poor people don't do, and I got way off on such a tangent. Number 7, poor people blame others for their misfortunes. I blame others for my misfortunes because most people in this world are fucking assholes. Number 8, poor people have no money saved. Well, it helps when poor people buy things that are on sale, but they said that they shouldn't. When people buy things that are on sale, they will have at least some money saved. Most poor people are pieces of trash except me. I know that a lot of people who are collecting disability and they have to piss away every fucking penny of it on a bunch of fucking garbage that they don't fucking need, and then they piss and moan about how broke they are because they are a bunch of retarded, stupid fucking apes. There have been people who have won millions of dollars in the lottery and then end up homeless in less than a year because they pissed away every penny of it on a bunch of meaningless fucking garbage. Stupid, retarded fucking apes. Number 9, poor people take out money for loans or use credit cards to buy shit that they don't need, which is kind of similar to number 8. Sounds kind of like Robert. Number 10, poor people have kids before they are financially ready to take care of them. Now that I agree with 100%. There are so many times when I watch the news and they have so many reports about some fucking imbecile who says, I have 4 kids and I can't feed them and I can't pay my bills. And the mainstream media can never come up with a solution to the problem. Here's a solution. Stop having so many fucking kids. If you can't feed them, then don't breed them. I agree with some of what is mentioned in this video, but the woman in this video sounds like an arrogant fucking cunt who talks down to me in a condescending tone of voice. And I'm sick and tired of people who pull this fucking bullshit. I believe in the law of attraction, but this has very little to do with the law of attraction. Abraham Hicks does a much better job at speaking the ideas of the law of attraction without the attitude. And here's something that rich people do that poor people don't. Rich people know how to create good foot fetish videos, and there are so many guys who like jerking off looking at a video of some hot sexy chick talking about her stinky smelly feet, especially when her toes are stinky and smelly. But so few guys are willing to admit that, but they are willing to give them their credit card numbers so they can watch the foot fetish video and then they get rich. And before I conclude this, don't stop recording. Let's get a little feedback on it. But there's a little bit left to go. Well, after listening to this thought-provoking spoken words, and if you can't think of anything that you got out of listening to it, well, I can think of at least one thing you will get out of it. You got to learn what the word effectophilia means. And how many minutes are left? How many minutes has this been so far?
Oh, 9 minutes and 9 seconds.
Okay, so we got 5 minutes left.
Okay.
To discuss it.
All right. Well, first of all, don't ever think of yourself as poor because that goes against the law of attraction.
We'll deal with that.
Yes, think of yourself as aspiring. Think of yourself as trans rich, I guess.
Well, I guess I can't mention the name of that fucking cunt. I guess I won't be able to show this video to get to the artist group because I'm talking about them.
Oh, that's too bad.
Because this one fucking cunt who was this blind woman who said that she hates it when I talk about crude sexual humor and shit, she really hates me talking about poop. She just can't stand it. And her husband said, you know, he came out and said that I should be censored and should be banned.
Well, they're wrong.
And this fucking cunt the following time came out and said, it's about time we set some standards on what people talk about.
Oh, one thing in your monologue is I have been around a lot of poor people that stink to high heaven. It's gross.
Well, I forgot to mention in moderation.
Yeah, well, I think one reason they're poor is because their hygiene is totally disgusting and they can't get hired. It's a vicious cycle.
And if they're homeless, that's difficult to keep up hygiene as well.
Yeah, but in homeless shelters, you do take a shower. They actually encourage it.
All of them?
Most of, either most or all. That's what I heard.
You can get into a homeless shelter.
Yeah.
And that's now the good news is when this fucking cunt said we should have standards, the guy got pissed off and said that he actually defended me and he got sick and tired of people like that marginalizing me.
Good.
You think I'm marginalized?
Yeah, I think so, big time.
I wonder how this one would go over at Java Monkey.
It might go over okay for open mic, but maybe not so much for a poetry slam.
It's also too long. I'd have to condense it.
Yeah, you would.
Because they're only allowed 3 minutes at a poetry slam.
Yeah, this was 3 times as long as 3 minutes.
And how much time is left?
Okay, it's now 11:45.
We got 3 minutes left.
Okay. Okay.
And see, I know there's always interest. Well, let's not forget about that feminazi fucking piece of shit was there. She was only there that one time, but I wasn't there every time either.
Yeah.
Who bragged about assaulting a guy who was making sexist remarks towards women.
Oh, for God's sakes, I'm a woman and I think a lot of sexist remarks are funny.
I don't know what was going on. I don't know if he was actually making passes at women.
Even that doesn't offend me. If I'm not interested, I'm not interested. End of story. I forget about it a minute later.
It's basically assault, and she tried to dictate to what a guy could even write, and not even me. I had a feeling that if she was going to hate this, because this one guy was his piece was innocent in comparison to mine. And he referred to women as girls, and she threw a fucking hissy fit, and she demanded that he change.
My God, it's not like he referred to women as hoes and cunts, you know. God.
That sounds a lot better.
I don't get offended by stuff like that. I listen to a lot of sexist music, like the Mentors and stuff. I don't get offended. I think it's funny. I find it amusing.
These days we need new bands with sexist music.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe it's because I have a sense of humor and I don't have a stick up my ass.
Are there any new cool bands that are sexist?
Oh, gee, I'm sure there are. I haven't heard of them. Oh, Steel Panther.
Steel Panther?
I don't know how new they are. They're metal.
Let's keep an eye on the time. How much is left?
It's 13:32.
1 minute.
Okay.
Stop it in a minute.
Yeah, but you should go on YouTube and look up Steel Panther. I think there's one song called Fat Girl that's really funny. Now, I'm a fat girl, too. I don't get offended. I think it's funny. You know, you got to have a sense of humor, otherwise you're going to walk around all miserable and shit.
And then people like that are bitchy.
They really are. It's their own fault, too.
What time is it on?
It's 13:57. All right, it is now 14.
How many? Half a minute. How many people do you know are snowflakes? And who are they?
I don't know. It's hard to tell.
She said hard.
Her, because I'm on Facebook. I see a lot of snowflakery all the time. So it's.
And someone unfriended you.
Yeah, you know what? They can go fuck themselves. Good riddance. All right,
we'll conclude with this one fucking snowflake who said, he's the one that unfriended. Don't you think that people should respect people?
Oh, yeah, right, yeah.
Except they don't practice what they...
Yeah, they don't.
They just think they think that the other people should be respectful, but they don't think
it works both ways. All right, it is time.
Stop the video.